Hello. Imagine if Julius Caesar lived in the modern world. His strategic mind, charisma, and political ambition would make him one of the most influential figures on a global scale. Born in the 21st century, he would undoubtedly be distinguished by his desire for power, the ability to find a common language with the masses and manipulate situations to achieve his own goals. He could start his path in the military sphere, where, thanks to his leadership qualities and fearlessness, he would quickly make a career in the armed forces, leading one of the leading armies in the world. Thanks to his knowledge of modern tactics and strategy, he would probably become a general or even a supreme commander, using technological advances and artificial intelligence to wage hybrid wars. His military talent and natural inclination to conquest could lead to the fact that he would start major conflicts, but instead of traditional battles, he would use economic pressure, information warfare, and diplomatic maneuvers. In the political sphere, he would quickly realize that democracy has its weaknesses and would start using populist methods, promising reforms, order, and the revival of the glory of the nation, which would make him an invincible candidate in the elections. His natural charisma would allow him to easily win the sympathy of citizens, and, having gained power, he would gradually centralize it, reducing the influence of parliaments and courts, creating a cult of personality and strengthening control over information. He could use modern surveillance technologies, artificial intelligence, and algorithms for analyzing social behavior to predict the public's reaction to his decisions and adjust policies in such a way as to keep the people in a state of support or fear. If he had not gone into the military or political sphere, he would certainly have become a tycoon in the business world, founding a transnational corporation that would dominate several industries, from technology to finance. He would create an economic empire similar to modern giants Apple, Google, or Amazon. But instead of playing by the rules, Caesar would use fierce competition, economic pressure, and manipulation to destroy rivals. His corporation could influence political processes, financing the campaigns of candidates he wanted and lobbying for laws that would strengthen his power. His analytical mind would allow him to use large amounts of data to predict trends and manage social processes, which would give him an absolute advantage over his competitors. In the media sphere, he would create his own information platform that would spread his ideology and shape public opinion in such a way that he would appear to be the only possible leader. He could use artificial intelligence to control global information flows, creating an alternative reality in which he is always right. His style of governance would be a mixture of autocracy and meritocracy. He would gather around him the best specialists, but they would have to obey his will unquestioningly. In the social sphere, he could introduce reforms that would look attractive to the population. For example, raising social standards or reducing taxes. But behind this would be strict control mechanisms that would limit the freedom of citizens. His system of government would be effective, but at the same time dangerous, since any opposition or discontent would be harshly suppressed. Given his historical tendency to dramatic gestures and spectacular public statements, he would use social networks to communicate directly with the people, creating the image of a father of the nation who solves all problems himself. He could even reform global institutions like the UN or create his own international alliance of states that obey his will. His long life in the modern world would have meant the creation of a superpower or global empire that would control finance, politics, and even culture, forcing all countries to either submit to his rule or be severely oppressed. If at some point he realized that physical existence has its limits, he could use modern biotechnology to extend his life or even transfer his consciousness into digital form to rule forever. Ultimately, whether he became a politician, military leader, business magnate, or technology guru, Julius Caesar in the modern world would have been either the greatest reformer and builder of global order, or an absolute dictator who would have used all available technology to create an empire that would survive any cataclysm.